Welcome to the Turntable, a roundtable discussion featuring music industry professionals, artists, and anyone with a vested interest in the music business. And today we have some phenomenal guests, so let's go around the table and learn a little bit about their background. Danny.
Hi, my name is Donnati. Please do not adjust the audio. I just speak like this. I came from Puerto Rico. I compose music for films, especially from Puerto Rico. I've been doing around 10 feature film. I've been working as a audio panelist in the Orlando Film Festival, and here we are working in Full Sail University, helping the student.
Phenomenal. Thank you.
Of course.
John.
Yes, hi, I'm Jon Taylor. I'm a promoter, talent buyer, festival director, and artist manager. I've directed over 500 events all throughout the country. Mainly specialized in electronic music, but we dabble in rock music to metal to country to anything else in between.
Yep, I go by Anx Malii. I'm an upcoming artist in Orlando. I'm a recording artist, sound engineer, beat maker. I pretty much do it all when it comes to the music aspect. So, yeah, I'm on the come up right now, and we starting from the bottom. So, appreciate you guys for having me.
Very cool. And that bottom, that's the foundation.
Literally.
Right? You need that, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something to be said about that,
Yeah,
right? Like in an environment where, and this is not new, but an environment where we see folks literally come out of nowhere, a viral explosion. Many times it's easy come, easy go, right? Mm-hmm. And as a side note, for someone that is heavily involved in the live space, I would imagine that's kind of hard to sustain a performance career if that's your foundation.
Correct, yeah. It really, if you start there and you skyrocket, to fame, going viral for it, it really turns into that one-hit wonder a lot of the times, and it's really hard for that artist to maintain that longevity in the career if they have no foundation that kind of they've built upon it. So yeah, it's a very troubling landscape, if you kind of go that way.
Indeed, and we've seen that for some time now. These artists that, get all of this traction, there's a lot of eyeballs, but maybe the dedicated fans just aren't there.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that does take a turn pretty quickly, and you can see it just from, talent buying, artists all over the country and seeing them pop and going from $1,000 booking fee to $50,000 booking fee within a few months, selling out shows, and then just completely falling off, not selling any tickets anymore. And it's just always that lifelong struggle after that to get back to where they were.
There you go. So there's something to be said about the bottom.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So speaking of shows, in so many ways in a digital environment, it seems that, many artists are coming up, and that's the one area. They have the socials locked down. They got the streaming. They're everywhere. But the one place or the one thing you don't see when you visit their website or when you visit their link tree are shows.
Yeah.
Talk to us, if you don't mind, a little bit about recommendations for an artist that's coming up, that maybe has that online presence, that has been developing their branding, but they have yet to solidify those paid gigs.
Yeah.
What do you recommend?
The largest part of that is going to be your network. Your network is your net worth, and that's true for everything. If you have the talent, you have the drive, you have everything laid down before. If you don't know the right people and you're not supporting that version of whatever market you're in, it's going to be very difficult. So either you're going to have to make your own path and pay for everything yourself and do it yourself, or find the key people that are really making, the right moves for it, whether it's a promoter, whether it's a friend or another artist manager, talent buyers, whoever it is, provide value to that, and the shows will come after that.
Do you recommend maybe finding an opportunity to open for an artist that already has, maybe not the biggest, but someone that has a following locally? Yeah,
that's always a staple in any kind of musician's career, is collabing with other artists that are bigger than them. You always want to go one step over to it and provide value to that artist to where they want to be able to bring you in, be able to provide that to open for them, showcase your talent for them. More than likely you have to start off doing it for free. But prove your value. In the live entertainment space, it's about selling tickets. It's a business at the end of the day, and so if you can bring in people, provide that value to it. Hey, if you bring me in, I'll bring in 20, 30, 40 people to add to your, act, and then it kind of snowballs from there, and you're still building your network as you're going with those 20 to 30 super fans that you have or supporters.
Indeed, if you could get 20 people to pay, then maybe next time you get 30 people, and so on and so on. So I'm curious, and this is a practice that we've seen for a while. We have folks on every side of this, their thoughts on this, and that is either A, paying to play, which we have in all various areas of the industry, or being mandated to sell a certain amount of tickets to be able to play. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so pay to play is out there. Me personally, on my part of it, I really try not to do that or even to allow artists to do that. We really try to focus in on the up-and-coming artists and provide them those opportunities to prove themselves when it comes into it. It can get very tricky when it comes to pay to play, because you could pay $500, $1,000 to play the show, but they're going to give you the worst slot that you have. They're going to be after the headliner, everybody's going to leave, and you paid for nothing.
And how many openers are there?
Exactly. Right? So, it's a very sticky situation. It can go, south pretty quickly. But yeah, if you have like a minimum, or if you have like a ticket split, or if you like, hey, especially in the digital age, give me a link, I will prove to you that I can bring in this many people, and then have 5 or 10 of your friends buy tickets, and just go from there. Whether it's your mom or your best friend or another artist or whoever's your support group, make sure to use those links, go into it and be like, if you put me on, guaranteed 20 tickets, if not, take me off the slot. And that'll show that passion and that drive for that promoter to be like, you do that, so we're happy to bring you back. Hey, guess what? I have a friend over in Tampa. This guy brings 50 tickets. This guy brings 100 tickets, 1,000, whatever. And it can really snowball your career from
there. You go. So, Anx, talk to us a little bit about performances. I know you've been doing shows.
Yeah.
How do you approach that as a newer artist? How do you lock in those gigs? And if you can share, typically what is, what's the business side of that look like?
So, as an upcoming artist and an independent artist, it is a struggle because there's so many, and there's such a variety of shows or venues that you can perform at. And like he said, either you can pay to play and it'll be $50 up to $200, $20, or you got open mics around the city that you're in, whether you can go there and perform for free and get your name out there. So for me specifically, I've been doing this since I was 17, right? So I'm pretty experienced at getting shows, and I started out with open mics, just going around Orlando, performing free, and then eventually, like he said, connections and networks led me to other venues and other venues and other venues. And then fast forward now, I'm able to connect with certain artists and certain promoters where I can be like, yo, you guys got a show, or they'll send me like, yo, I got a show next week, or I got a show next month, and I like the way you perform, can you come through? And it's basically all on connections, and it depends on your hustle, bro. Like literally, if you're out there and you're on grind mode, you're gonna go get it, you're gonna go find a way. If not, then you're just gonna stay there and run around in circles.
Indeed, and in many ways, almost everything we do in the industry is about grind mode, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're not in that mode, then somebody else is going to be there, which means
definitely.
you're going to be sitting, pretty much still. Danny, talk to us a little bit about your background. I know you're a composer, but as far as the live performance space, can you tell us anything about that and your background?
Live performance. The last thing that I played was, I am a drummer. I played drums since I was 13. I'm 52. And the last gig, it was, I played rockabilly for 3 years, which I love it. It's very intense music. But before that, in Puerto Rico, I've got my a DJ drummer project. I control Ableton Live with this big drum, the $10,000 drum set. Yeah, it was crazy. And I play in different venues, and I was in a talk show in Univision Puerto Rico for 3 years. It was super nice experience, yeah.
So what were those shows like? What did that involve? It was you on stage with your controller and a set of live drums?
A V-drums is an electronic
drum. Oh, the electronic, right, electronic
yes.
drums, right.
Basically, I don't want to go too technical, but it's, the drums, the V-drums, basically what are you doing is sending MIDI notes, which is a keyboard key, right? Straight to the Ableton Live. You can trigger vocals and piano and everything in real time.
And talk to us, I mean, as someone that is regularly involved in booking shows, does your setup, does the amount of folks that you have on stage with you, does that impact your potential to get booked?
It really depends. I mean, if you have a live drum setup like that, or turntables, or whether it's a DJ set, or a full drum kit, everything else that goes into it. Generally, the ones that have the most unique kind of style setups are the ones that tend to be the most successful because they provide something different and unique to the fan base. Us as promoters, when we're buying the shows, if we're buying that particular artist, like, we are well aware that they're going to need all of that, so we have to provide those riders unless they're on a tour bus or they're bringing that rider with them. If it's specialty equipment, most of the time they are. But anybody from big artists, from big gigantic to plethora of different artists, they provide a really cool live performance outside of just CDJs, just outside of all of that, and I think it's a good choice to be unique. And some of the biggest artists I know, they're still playing on a mini tractor. They don't want to play on a CDJ. They just want to, that's what they learned on. That's what they're the best at, and they'll put it in their backpack and bring it on the show with them. And
less is more.
Yep.
Let's talk about promotion.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, whether we're talking about live shows that we're trying to promote, the brand that we're trying to promote, a new release that you're trying to get out there. If you don't mind, maybe go around the room and tell us a little bit about some of your approaches to marketing yourself.
Okay.
What platforms are you using? What have you found to be effective to create engagement? And maybe some of the biggest lessons that you've learned in recent times. I'll start with you.
Okay, so as far as like the platforms that I use in order to display my content, I use all of them: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, Twitter. You know what I'm saying? But for me specifically, I've been watching the algorithm, and TikTok's kind of slowing down, and Instagram Reels are starting to blow. So like you have to follow the internet. Like, if you're not following the internet, you're not going to get the engagement, you're not going to get the fan base, you're not going to get your audience. And I had to learn that. Like, one of my friends blew up, Caleb Gordon, like, he was telling me, like, bro, you have to follow the internet because it's going to be a trend every week. So you have to hop on those trends every week. You got to put yourself and set yourself up and put your personal, I would say, like, your personality in that trend, and that's how you build that audience and that fan base for you. So as far as like the content, TikTok, Instagram, pretty much like the whole social media in general.
And what are you doing there that you found effective? Is it performing live?
Yeah.
Is it a particular day that maybe, I don't know, you're doing a freestyle, or how are you approaching it?
So I post 3 times a day. So that's 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. I do that because I found that the algorithm during that time, people get off work, people get on break, people clock into work, people get off work between 3, 6, and 9. So for me, finding the algorithm in that, I seen the peak in my engagements. So me personally, that's why I do that. As far as the content specifically, it depends on the vibe for my song. So if I have a slow song, a sad song, I'll probably get in an environment where it's like sad, or the colors are dimmed, stuff like that. And I try to bring the audience into what the song is about, and that's how you attract the engagement to the song. Now, if I got a lit, turned up song and we going crazy, then I might get somewhere where there's a whole bunch of lighting, a whole bunch of people at, getting the people in the crowd involved into what I'm doing, and that type of content. But it really doesn't matter. It's all on you and what your fan base likes, to be honest. But in order to get that fan base, you're going to have to drop consistently on all type of social media platforms. And you're going to have to follow the internet and hop on the trends that they are doing. That's popping right now.
And are you directing them to a streaming platform, to your link tree, to your website, to be able to get access to the music?
So me, I've just got fond of Instagram ads, and at first I really didn't think they worked, but after giving them a try, I started finding that they actually do work, and they actually start attracting people to your music. And on the Instagram ad, you're able to put your website, and if they like your content, they can click on your website, or if they like the song they're listening to, they can click on that link, and it takes it straight to Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you got your music on, and that's how you build the streams up for your songs. So depending on your content, and if they like it or not, depends on the streams that you have for your song. So yeah, that's a big factor as well.
Thank you. And John, I mean, you have an interesting perspective, because I would imagine that not only obviously are you using social media for your company, but you also have the opportunity to kind of see what all of these other talents that you're working with and how they promote, let's say, their shows. What have you found to be effective? What are you doing? And is there anything really out of the box that you've seen that has worked recently?
Yeah, I mean, I would say as getting people to purchase tickets and just showcasing the artists themselves to make them want people to come in, marketing is our bread and butter. Like, that's everything that we always do. Like, our marketing budgets, depending on the shows, can range anywhere from $500 on a show's low end to $10, $20, $30,000 just in whether it's meta ads or email marketing, print, banners, digital ads. You know, you're using blogs or internet sources that you can use for larger campaigns. It does depend on the artist, on how to market that particular artist specifically, and you can just base that off of the brand and their fan base that they already have, whether they're really heavy into comedy or whether they're heavy into just the vibe itself of the event. You just really kind of pick and choose for that particular artist. But we also do get access to the artist pages. So we'll get an ad access request from their management teams or their agents for that artist page. We can really get our data from their fan base and then directly create our meta ads specific to their fans. We can also build it off of previous ticket purchases for our events for the branding of just people purchasing it because it's our event. And we can load all those emails that we get from all of our ticketing companies, put that into CSV files, load that into our meta programs through Facebook, Instagram, social medias, and build our ad sets based off of their interests, likes. And really, it's good if they already purchased tickets to that artist before. You bring them back. Now you have, your return rate is 50%. Yeah. If they've already gone and bought a ticket to that artist, bring them back. They'll buy it really quickly on that. So it's it really depends on what you're doing, and whether what genre specific as well. It's way different. With electronic music, it's the demographic is 18 to 24. So you're really going to be aiming at, like he was, speaking of, was with trends and what's happening and that kind of, demographic. But if you're doing rock music or you're doing, Latin or country, that demographic is going to change and they're not going to react to that. Mm-hmm. If you send a reel, it's, really hype electronic music to a rock fan that's 35 years old and has 3 kids, they're not going to even look at it. But if you have a publication that goes into it and they're just looking at an article, whether it's through Rolling Stones or Billboard or whatever the like, they're more than likely to see that and engage with it for a static flyer compared to the digital aspect that comes in.
Right, and you mentioned email, and I would imagine that that's still pretty important to be able to have that email list.
Yes.
How do you capture that? At what point in the funnel are you getting that?
Yeah, so there's multiple ways you can gather emails, whether it's like through your website, you can create, links for people to go in and sign up, specifically. A lot of them are gathered just from when they purchase tickets. And that's just, when they buy the ticket, they accept the contract. And we get your email, we get your first name list. If you don't want to be on that list anymore, just say unsubscribe. And those are really crucial because if you didn't have social media, what happens if Instagram shuts off tomorrow? Are you still an artist? Are you still a musician? Mm-hmm. And that was, that's from the very beginning, whether it's a mailing list for like the Grateful Dead all the way up to email lists that there are now, you have that direct 100% that person's going to see it. Compared to Instagram, where it's 10 to 20% of your actual followers that are actually seeing it, and that direct, promoter to consumer contact is crucial. So build that email list as much as you can. Get it from your friends. Give away things for people to sign up for to get that data, and it's very important. So I would definitely do that. Just be like, hey, I got 2 tickets for this. To enter that, to sign up for this email, and then I'll do a giveaway. And then you'll get hundreds and hundreds of emails that are people that are engaged with it. Yeah. And then you really start building that email list coming up.
Okay. What about the AI for that? Like, don't they have AI that automatically does it for you?
Yeah, I mean, you can go on that part, but now you're kind of going into the legalities of taking people's information because they're not agreeing to it. Yeah. And then that can really kind of soil the
reputation of
the whole brand. First of all, but also can get you in trouble with SEC and stuff like that when it comes into customer personal data. Okay. But yeah, just make sure you're getting it in the
And do you have your own? You have your own website?
Yes, I have
Okay, great, wonderful, wonderful. So, so Danny,
this is something that I always say to the student. First, remember, as a musician, right, or music producer or whatever. First, you need your website. Mm-hmm. You really need your website. Mm-hmm. Your social media, SoundCloud. This is those things that you really need because, of course, everyone will going to try to find you in this website. Another thing is try to use the hashtag this is amazing,
Yeah.
you know, on Instagram.
Absolutely. That's a big factor nowadays. Too.
And hashtags have
Hashtag
changed
moves.
quite a bit on social media. It used to be
Yeah.
you could go up to 30, and that was great. Now it's really kind of you want to stick to 5.
Yeah.
So
literally.
5 key ones, and then use different ones. Go into your niche genres, your general niche, and just what's trending.
Yeah.
And that'll really help kind of capture it. But Instagram's kind of picked up on the SEOs for like keywords in your actual caption compared to just hashtags. But yeah, hashtags are still relative for growing. Yeah.
Pretty good.
In your world, as a composer and a musician, how have you been using social media?
I don't use it for social. Well, wait. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Remember, I said I am not going. I didn't use it because the producer used the social media, the film producer.
Yeah.
I don't use it for. In my case, I want to start with something that you mentioned before. I met this producer. He was filming his first movie. I'm talking about 1994. I guess this is before the internet or dialogue. You know, to give you an idea. And he said, like, I'm going to make a vampire movie. And I knocked the door, like, hey, I want to be a composer, film composer. This is my phone number. And he called me 2 or 3 months after that, and I do his post-production and his compose. I compose a song and post. This is crazy for one person.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes, this is too much. Guys, do not try at home. Yes, try to split the job. The thing is, after that, I work with him for the last 25 years.
Wow.
And we've been working together many movies. Actually, the last year he came here in Orlando Film Fest, and he presented one of our movies. And I've been working in the Orlando Film Fest for 6 years as an audio panelist. And it was super fun, because they know me, the Orlando Film Fest know me, but they never hear my project, my project, right? And it was super fun, meeting people, like, this is my job,
Yeah.
But yeah, answering your call, your question, I don't use social media as a film producer, as a film composer, because I've got my niche. However, for example, I'm working in a new project. Actually, I'm writing a book, and I'm composing a song for every chapter. Yes, and I've been posting videos around this project. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, but not like film composer or whatever. I guess.
And what platform are you using for that?
It's YouTube and Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm old school. I don't follow TikTok.
That's all right. That's where your audience is. And let's talk a little bit about something that is social media, I guess, adjacent. And that would be streaming. And in some ways, I mean, I know you're on SoundCloud. In some ways, SoundCloud is kind of a social media platform and streaming platform, right? You could engage, you could comment, you could spread, you could share, embed, et cetera, et cetera. Talk to us a little bit about how you use streaming platforms. Do you have preferences? And also, how do you use those to market yourself?
I love SoundCloud. For me, this is like the next step of iTunes. Like this is the evolution of iTunes. But for promote music, the best thing is Instagram. Nothing like Instagram. Like I said, hashtag can help you. You don't have to pay. I don't pay anymore.
Yeah.
Because there is a quote. It said like, suddenly take you 10 years. Right? What I mean is, if you start to post every day, like you are doing right now, you will going to make sound, you are going to make noise someday, and someone will going to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Makes sense? I'm not going to tell you that it's going to take you 10 years, but, Yeah. Makes sense?
Very cool. Yes, of course.
Just be patient.
Indeed. Patience and consistency is important.
Yeah.
So, in your world, again, working with a variety of talent, how have you seen them utilize their streaming platforms either to bolster their brand, the music, or maybe even find a way to tap into a live audience to get them to check out their latest song.
Yeah, so I mean, SoundCloud is very crucial, especially when it comes to up and coming artists. You don't have to pay for it. It's very you use DistroKid and everything else to get it on. But it really is a community builder. It's your fan base builder that goes into it. Spotify is like your spotlight of your career, right? Like Spotify is really tapped into larger artists, and they really get a big return on the larger part of it. But it's going to be original music. It's going to be licensed specifically to you. They're a lot more strict when it comes to SoundCloud, to where if you're using SoundCloud, if you're remixing other people's tracks, if you're flipping other people's tracks, and you can, still have the right to be able to put it up there, that's how those new fans are going to find you based off of artists that you're similar to. Yeah. And it kind of opens up that gateway to really use SoundCloud to draw people in from that direction. And then you can kind of push them, in a sense, towards Spotify. You can also use download gates on SoundCloud to push them to follow you on Instagram, to sign up for your email list. Hey, you download the track, that means you got to follow me. You can provide free stems in anything from live music. You can record those sets at your live performances. Spotify, you can't load that track. You can't load that whole set list. SoundCloud, you can. YouTube, you can. Have those licensing, have everything else to it, all your original music, load it up onto SoundCloud. So now when you go to a live event, promote it at the event, promote it on your social media afterwards, and say, hey, you were just at my show here, go check it out on SoundCloud. The whole set's listed right there if you want to go relive the experience that we had together. And it's really powerful to be able to push that toward your community.
I want to share an idea that I met in Puerto Rico. Many DJs, especially on DJ. Let me see if I remember.
Yeah.
But what they do, especially for the senior prom, what they sell their show as a what do you call when you sell something to get money? What they do is they do a download card, and they sell the download card as a ticket. Like, okay, I'm going to sell you 100 ticket for $5. $500, right? And they sell this ticket. This is the ticket to entrance to the party, right? And they sell for, $10, $20 or whatever, and the school get $15 for every ticket, right? And the DJ has their $500 or more.
Yeah, they'll sell to the event with the USB drive with the actual set list onto there and sell that
super
as a part
cool.
of the event.
I never tried this before, but wow, makes sense. You can get $2,500.
Yeah,
like
that. Like the whole music scene is innovating. Like,
fundraising.
Oh, yes.
Some kind of fundraising. Yeah.
And it's a great way to merge the physical and the digital.
Yeah.
So in your world, if you don't mind sharing, I know you're everywhere, share maybe some of your, the places where you spend the most time focusing on the streaming side, and anything that you found to be effective in getting your music out.
Okay, so I feel like, me personally, Apple Music and Spotify, that is where the most of my Instagram engagements go to. And once I found that out, I'm pushing Spotify and Apple Music. As far as YouTube, I haven't spent too much time on YouTube, so I understand why the engagements aren't hitting like they're supposed to. But sooner or later, I'm going to start hitting those aspects of the music streaming as well, and then I already know they're going to go up too. But I'm still trying to figure out the algorithm for YouTube, because it's constantly changing, and it's like, okay, well, if this changed, then I got to do this, and it's like, hold on, wait a minute. So it kind of get overwhelming sometimes. So but as far as like me pushing my streaming platforms, Spotify and Apple Music, that's where it is right now.
And are you spending a good amount of time on evaluating your analytics?
Oh, absolutely. I'm checking my analytics every day. Especially when I drop certain videos on Instagram or TikTok for certain songs, and I look at, okay, well, I dropped this video for this song during this day, and the next 2 days or the next week, what did it do for this song? And that's how I manage the video. That's how that determines what content I drop. Because if I know this content for this specific song goes up and does numbers on Spotify, then I'm going to drop that and target Spotify. If I know this type of content or this song targets the Apple Music streams for this song, then I'm going to target that. And that's how I kind of find my little melody when it comes to marketing and branding my music and myself as well. So
And you mentioned the sale of a hybrid of a ticket for admission that also includes the music, so you have that added value component. Who knows, maybe after the fact it's even a collectible. I'm curious if you don't mind sharing a little insight into some ancillary forms of revenue. We all know when it comes to streaming, you know, unless you're Beyonce or Taylor Swift, we're talking about fractions of pennies that, they add up, but you need a lot of millions, if not billions, for those to make a considerable amount of money and be able to make a living out of that. If you don't mind maybe sharing some alternate ways that you're able to monetize what you do, whether it be merchandise, I know you have merchandise, or in your case, you deal with a lot of artists, you're at a lot of shows. What are you seeing on the merch tables?
Called the cliche saying that all musicians are just glorified t-shirt salesmen, and that's really true. I mean, even when you get your bookings up and your fees are going from $1,000, $5,000, you're going to be splitting that in a lot of different directions, whether it's through your talent agent, your artist management, to your staff itself, and some of these artists that have the merchandise is a big draw for a lot of their revenue throughout the year. When you'll have, let's say an artist gets $100,000 for a booking, 10,000 person play, 5,000 person, they got to do 20% to the agent. They're doing 10% to the artist management. They have their staff, they have the catering, they have their hotels, they have their transportation, their flights, everything that goes with it. If the promoter's not paying for it, then that 100,000 easily down to 40,000, 50,000 max, for a show, plus taxes. And if your taxes are, a single person and you're filing your own tax, that's another 27%. So, you're really only getting 30 to 40. And then if you have that artist that's drawing that many people and they have a wide selection of merchandise and their brand is really strong and their fans like it, we'll have artists that do $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in merch in 4 hours for a relatively small artist. You get, Taylor Swift, Big Bunny, Bad Bunny, sections of those, they're doing tens of millions of dollars in merch every single stop. And the artists, depending on their contracts and how they're working with their merchandising, how they're doing it, they'll keep 90% of that. So now their booking fee, instead of making 30 grand, they're taking home that 100 still, and it's off the merch sales. And it depends on how you, move that percentage around. Bad Bunny's, notorious for being excellent with his contract. He gets 90% of everything. Doesn't matter. So and he's doing 12, 13 semi-truckloads worth of merch every single show.
It's crazy.
So it's, merch is very, very important. It's that connection between you and your fan base that can really, make it a career, make it a job that you can get paid for doing it. So definitely get merchandise on the table, and that could range from t-shirts to whatever you
hoodies,
have. Hoodies, whatever it is.
I mean, having been to a lot of shows, festivals, what are some of the more interesting things that you've seen on the table?
There's definitely a plethora of things that I've seen. Anybody, from certain glass materials to so other things I don't want to talk about, but it's I don't know. I've seen some very interesting, even from USB drives to keychains to the more obscure things actually sell very well. Especially if that's your brand already, then you're really going to connect. From necklaces to keychains to anything else in between. There's definitely some interesting things out there, art and
even handmade stuff, right?
Definitely handmade things, even from vendors to even if you aren't in the musician space, you're in the vendor space. We have vendors that sell literally anything and everything from lights to LEDs to flow toys, all the way up to hats and everything in between.
So what kind of merchandise do you have?
I have t-shirts and hoodies.
Okay.
So and I when I first started doing it, I had a variety of everything. But I think I was on YouTube University, and I was like, they were telling me don't have a whole bunch of colors and a variety of all these shirts, because then your fans are gonna get so confused. They're gonna think about, well, should I get this color? Should I get this color? Should I get this color? Then eventually they're not gonna buy anything at all. So I just knocked it down to a hoodie and a t-shirt.
Keep it
with 3 colors each. And I just post it and I'll market it and wear it to my shows, and I got like one person that bought it so far.
Okay, that's
But
all right.
look, we
That's
started
all
from the
right.
bottom.
We
You know
got
what I'm
it.
saying? So look, hey, look, I did it by myself. I
There
got
you
one
go.
person to buy my merch. That's all
There
that
you
matters.
go.
You know what I'm
One
saying? So-
could equal two.
Yeah.
So,
So, yeah.
one recommendation, depending on your audience, maybe have like a sticker on
Yeah.
there. You know, something that's like a, just an
Freebies.
entryway for
Yeah.
a buck. Speaking of ancillary revenue, I know you've done licensing for film, for video games. If you don't mind, talk a little bit about it. I mean, we have an artist that's kind of starting out. What would you recommend for somebody that is looking to get into that space, to be able to hopefully make some connections and have a shot at having their music placed someplace?
Met people. Yep, try to be nosy. I know.
In a nice way.
Of course. I know many people from Fursett University. Actually, I met you, right? For
Yeah.
a pizza.
In a
He
park-
lost a
was in a
pizza,
parking
and he
lot.
found a pizza.
was
a
right?
parking lot,
And here we are. And this is how you make a relationship. You start to make a friendship.
Yeah.
This is the best way. Try to meet people. The last month we have a composer film community or whatever here, and it was Friday night. I just came.
Yeah.
I wasn't working, but I just came. Try to be involved in every way.
Okay.
Definitely leverage your connections throughout the industry, whether it's
Okay.
your friends or your mentors or professors, all the way to
Yes.
guy
Full
down the
Sail,
street.
we have a lot of events. I can catch up all of them. I try to, but it's a lot.
Yeah. Seeing
And-
licensing is very
Yeah.
good when it comes, especially with the new digital age. When it comes
Absolutely.
to like EA Sports
Absolutely.
and it's actually pretty easy to find the information. I mean, just go to wherever you want to be placed at, whether it's like you want to be on Fortnite, you want to be on, FIFA or whatever else. They accept those sync licensings. Usually it's through a label. It's better, but labels are kind of on their way out in a sense. They're not providing the same amount of value that you can just do yourself.
Literally.
So if you're trying to get on EA Sports, just go to EA Sports, go to their website, go down to licensing, sync licensing, app apply, find out start that communication, use the levers that you have into it. There's an EA Sports complex here. Go drive down it. It's over in Sanford. Just like show up to the office building. They're there.
Another thing that I have to say is, remember, this is not Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 job.
Yeah.
This is something this is for all of us.
Yeah.
This is something that you need to breathe.
Yeah.
Music or production or camera or cable or lighting, this is what you breathe,
Yeah,
right?
literally. You wake up,
This is-
go to sleep.
Exactly.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah,
At
after-
work, not at work.
No. Right now, I wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I'm writing the book, came here to work, and I return to compose every single day.
Yeah, literally.
This is what I do all my life, because if you don't think like this way, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, there's a million other people that are obsessed with this.
Yeah.
They live for this.
Yeah.
And they'll outwork you every single
Every
day.
time.
So
Every
you
single
really
time.
have to put everything you have into it, because if not, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's-
And
you're not gonna
nowadays,
make
it makes it so much easier nowadays.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have everything done for you. You just got to put the work in. It's easy to do it, but it's just the work. A lot of people don't want to put the work in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can pay $15 on DistroKid and get your songs on there, but are you willing to put in five content videos a day in order to get your streams up? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's easy. Everybody has one of these.
That's right.
Yep.
Just point something out, and I want to go around the room and learn a little bit about how to reach all of you. I know you mentioned earlier speaking at a film festival on a regular basis. We have plenty of those, so that would be a great way to meet people. I know that you speak at conferences. I've spoken at conferences. That's a great way to go and meet people. Not just the people on stage, but also the people that are sitting next to you, right? You never know where those relationships are going to go.
Sure.
That said, I would love to go around the room, and if you don't mind, share how someone might learn more about you. If you want to share your Instagram post, your Instagram handle, your website, or where they can find your music or anything else.
Follow me on Instagram at ANXMALII. Click the link in the bio and go stream my new EP called Honest With Myself 2. I know you're going to like it. If you're a vibe, if you're happy, if you're sad, if you're up, if you're down, if you're at work, when you're not at work, go stream that. I guarantee you're going to like it.
There you go. John.
Damn.
You can find me on any social medias at Primal Productions, MGMT, or go visit our website at primalpresents.com. We have any of our tickets, our artists that we feature onto there, anything from blogs and everything in between.
Perfect. Donnati.com. DANNY. Donnati is DONATI. Music@gmail. Well, this is my email, but you can Google me. Danny Donnati Music. Everywhere.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. You all have been a wealth of information, and it was a pleasure speaking to you.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
And we have a special surprise. You're going to be performing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll see you on the other side.